Good evening. The Georgetown School Committee meeting of Thursday, February 17th, 2011 is called to order. Up first is the consent agenda, which includes the regular session minutes of February 10th, 2011, and the acceptance of warrants 36P11 and 35V11. Is there anything the committee wishes to remove from the consent agenda? If not, the chair will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Any more discussion? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving on. Our student rep is at a jazz band festival at Salem State College with the U.S. Air Force Band, I believe. So he will be back at our next meeting. All right, moving on to audiences. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to comment on something that is not on the agenda? Okay. Then at this time, I would like to ask Mr. and Mrs. Manuel and Zach to come on up and tell us a little bit about your fundraiser.
You can pull your chair up if you
Yep,
want.
you can you can move your chair up if you want to. Mary. Welcome.
Welcome, thank you.
Hello.
Go ahead. We'd like to put on a basketball free throw fundraiser to raise money to buy Happy Nappers for the children at Children's Hospital. That's what it's all about. Zachary saw the commercial one day, and
What's a happy napper?
it's looks like it's a pillow,
Yep.
and it looks like a house. One is a dog house, one
There-
is a castle.
There is an igloo, and you unzip it, and it's reversible to an animal that is similar to that type of house.
All right.
Oh.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
See?
So he thought that he wanted to actually take some of his own money and buy some, and he said 'cause he felt that all kids should have a happy nap.
I think he's right.
Yep. So we thought we'd try to put on a fundraiser and raise as much money as we can to buy as many as we can to bring to the children at Children's Hospital.
And it's a free throw competition, right?
Yeah,
Well, not
basketball
Free throw
Yes,
fundraiser.
yes.
fundraiser. Yeah.
That is great. So is that how it'll be, how you get sponsors and however out of 25 you make?
Yeah.
That is
Be
such a great
trophies for
idea.
each age group, boys and girls, second grade through fifth grade. So each second grade, or third grade, or fourth grade, who scores the most will get a trophy.
Wow,
Boys separate the boys and girls.
it's very exciting. I know two boys that want to do it already. They saw my packet.
How much
Sure, it'd be a
does
lot of
Happy
fun.
Nappers cost? Just
They're
curious.
well, if you buy more than 6, they're $14.95 a piece.
Okay.
But the bonus is the company themselves donate 1% of their proceeds to a children's brain tumor foundation.
Wow,
So it's kind of like a double.
win-win.
Yeah.
So we've been in touch with the manufacturer of Happy Nappers, and they're going to help us with some marketing materials.
Oh, that's great.
We've been in touch with Children's Hospital, and they've approved this fundraiser as well. Done all the necessary back work, and here we are. And this all stems from him. I mean, this is an idea he came up with, he saw, and he kind of brought it to us on his own, and we're just kind of making it bigger for him, and including the town and the community, and
That's
doing
great,
as much as
Zach.
we can to help.
Yeah.
Great idea.
It really is such a nice idea.
Zach, what grade are you in?
I'm in 3rd grade.
3rd grade, so you hit high school, what, 6 years from now?
Probably.
Mr. Lucia, since we have you here, does Zach get an advance on his community service?
Community
$40?
That
This
is
is
great.
great.
It really is.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much. Does anyone else have any questions?
No?
Okay, the chair will entertain a motion to approve the request by Stephanie Manuel to hold the Happy Napper Children's Hospital fundraiser on March 18th at the Pembroke School Gym as presented.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Any more discussion? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank
Excellent.
Good luck.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
very
much.
much.
Good luck.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for doing this.
Okay. Now, moving on to the administrative reports. The superintendent's about to start with her budget proposed reductions.
Could we make one modification? Could we have Mr. Olson come and move, would you mind moving the roof discussion
Nope, we can move
up
the
to
roof
the
discussion
audience?
now.
Because I'm not sure, how
Sure.
long the other discussions might take.
Yeah, I was going to move Mr. Lucia too.
Mr. Lucia too? Okay, that's fine.
You can sit down.
Absolutely. Welcome.
So I think, and included in your information is a proposal that was put together by Alan and staff.
Wait, would you
Um,
just bring this to the chairwoman?
Now, we've been working, just as a way of background, we've been working with
Yeah, pass it on.
a gentleman named Charles Sacra, who works for the insurance Maya. He is a structural engineer. And since, the incident at Pearlie happened, we've been, trying to work as diligently as we can to have the goal of getting the staff and students back into the wing as quickly as we can. Our backup plan, as we talked about the last meeting, was portables that would be used as a temporary housing situation until such time as this could be worked out. In the meantime, over the last week or so, Mr. Sakra and Alan and his son AJ, and some other engineers came to the site and looked at it, and we put together a temporary plan that we want to talk about today for you. And there is an actual proposal in your packet. And so we'll let Alan, share what he's planning to do, and then we can certainly entertain questions.
Is this stuff this?
Yeah, it looks like the beach, doesn't it? It's like
Yeah.
talcum powder.
What is it?
Well, that's the first thing we said.
Yeah.
If I might, my name's Alan Olson, and I've given you a card. I've gave it to you on purpose, even though I've introduced myself, because there's a number there, and I can be reached 24 hours a day. And I mean that literally. We have emergencies for Trigen steam tunnels when everything else. So we're there. Tony Giblin is with me tonight. He is actually a project manager of ours, and fortunately, with this time slot here, he's working at a Corps of Engineers job down in Rhode Island, doing a dam and a bridge for us, and managing that. He's a top quality project manager, and with the Corps of Engineers, it's safety and it's environmental and quality, and that's his job down there. So I asked Tony to come along just because he'll be, if we go forward with this, be working down there. To answer your question, yes, that's we walked up in that attic. Carrier's up there. Of course, we were all coughing when we got through, and nobody with all the construction experience as we went through this could identify this, which was a concern. We didn't know if it was insulations. We didn't know if it was a pesticide that was put in there or what it was. It's, as you can see from the pictures, it looks like you're at the hot beach, and what
I
it
thought
is
it was snow that fell
it's
through.
perlite insulation, and perlite is a harmless insulation material. If you go to it's a rock. You go to a nursery and you buy a plant, and you have little white dots in the soil, and the soil's all fluffy and moist. That's perlite. So,
Well, that's good to know.
well, it is good to know.
We had a roof full of
Very
it.
good.
Well, it's really good to know. I mean, no, you got 3 dumpsters full of it up there.
Oh.
We calculated. So the good thing to know is that we don't have anything harmful up there, and I guess anybody in this community that would like some perlite for their garden, we'll be happy to give them bags of it. But it is an irritant. For example, if you were walking through there, it's so fluffy, it just puffs up, and you start coughing. So the guys will have to wear respirators, and we don't want to start working up here and expose 3 dumpsters full of stuff to the community, to the kids, and it's dust. It's not, but it's still. So what has to happen up there before anything can really occur is that has to be vacuumed out. So it'll be we'll vacuum that out, and then we can actually see what's going on. One of those pictures shows it kind of pulled back, because I had the fellow that runs my roofing division. He was up there. He spent a good part of a day up there trying to assess what we had underneath of this powder for a roofing system, because we know that there's 2 things that are going on. Is one is we have to get the children right back in there as fast as possible, and the other is we want to try and keep the watertight integrity as much as we can. There's quite a hole in your roof there. You have a concrete deck roof up there, which is a very sound structural roof, and you have a roof that's okay. It's a flat roof, and it had problems, and that's why they put that over it. But you have areas where they ran ducts and electrics and lights, and they cut holes through the roof. So you now have a duct work go through in a hole 6 inches bigger than that. And we've been fortunate with this that we haven't had any really bad weather, because that rain would have moved through that system, and you could have ended up, instead of 1 barrel in 1 classroom, you could have ended up many barrels in every classroom. So our objective is to go down there tomorrow, start with vacuuming. There'll be crews in there. There'll be an electrician. Will be in there to cut off the electrical lines, so we can make safe up there. We got the vents. There's lots of electrical lines up there. There'll be a crew in there disassembling the ductwork down below, and that's in preparation. Plus, plus the ductwork, if anything settles any further, it'll push your ceilings down even more. You only have one ceiling lost now. So this is all prep work to get going. Once we get this cleaned up so that we know we can see what's going on there, then we'll have a roofing crew in there inside of that structure, and we're going to try and basically patch up the old roof you have there. So where we have a curb going through the roof and it's 4 or 5 inches around, we'll actually put 2x8s, 2x6s, whatever, 2x12s. And we'll make a box. They call it a curb. So that curb will now encompass that hole, and that will be used later for the piece of ductwork. When it gets cut off, we'll put the new top on that's on the roof, and we'll try and make that watertight. We'll seal that wooden box. That'll prevent water from going into those holes. There's skylights up there. Obviously, they were covering it over, so they didn't really care what they did. So there's some skylight panels that get plywood in them. Generally, we're going to go inside, and we're going to try and take the old roof and reconstruct it in a watertight sense. At the same, as that goes on, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start taking down that structure, and we'll start lowering pieces of it and just disassembling it and taking it down. And as soon as we get far enough down the line, a little ways down the line where it's not a safety problem, there's a lot of safety going on up there, is the roofing crew will come in right behind them. They got to be a little ways away so that nobody will get hurt, and they'll be putting a temporary rubber roof on there, on top of it. So we're doing a temporary roof just to get it tight. I mean, if it rains badly Sunday night, I mean, we're in trouble. So we're going to be doing that, and then the temporary roof that will, in theory, last you whatever time you need. It'll be a rubber roof system. Some things won't be as orthodox as what you might think. You know, we'll take some of the plywood from there, and there's areas, and I've got pictures if you really want to get into details, but there's areas where there's little parapet walls to go up to the skylights, and there's areas that water can get there. So we're just literally going to plywood right over them and a roof right over those areas. We're simply trying to make this building secure, tight, usable, until such time as you've had your architects and decided what to do. And that's what our plan is.
Excellent. And how long, Alan, I mean, I understand one thing leads into another, but is this a 2-week thing?
We took in, we've said we think it'll be done in 3 weeks. We're saying we need 4 weeks. 3 weeks we'll have it done. In 2 weeks we expect to have it so that if we're roofing up there in the demolition of the things that are down, that shouldn't affect. I mean, you could be doing a roof while school's in session. So if the demolition piece is out, which I expect to be, that will be down in 2 weeks. That'll be gone. Then the roofing can follow up. So we're looking for 4 weeks. 3 weeks is when we'll get it done. I think if you really, really had to, and I prefer not to, you'd probably start using it in 2.5 weeks. You know, but it'd be nice to just let us have at it. With that, we'll patch up the ductwork will be patched up down below. We'll patch up the ceiling in the cafeteria. You have one carpet. You've asked to have pulled up. We'll pull that carpet up and dispose of it. We've tested that for asbestos. Oh yeah, that's one of the things I have to. We tested everything here for asbestos. We tested the glue under the carpet. We've tested everything up there that had to be tested. Now, you do have asbestos up there, but it's not a problem, and it shouldn't be an alarming word, because what's happened is all the items that would be a bigger concern to us are tested negative. The roofing system itself, which is extremely common, you'll have it on every building. You'll have it here. The cements and stuff, they have asbestos in them. And the felts, they obviously, what they happened at one point, they did the roof and then they just capped the sheet over with another couple layers of hot material with asbestos paper in them. Those are non-friable. They're not a danger. There's not particles flying around.